is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year, and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
It's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famers Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it. Howie Mandel, our guest here. Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations, the InTown 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave, here's Jason Walker.
Oh, happy Thursday. It is the Jason Walker Show here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Jason Walker Show presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Big show today. We are going to talk with Jesse Davis, who says he's retiring from bareback riding after this weekend's Montana PRCA finals. We'll see. It's my belief that Jesse sticks around at least another year, but we'll see. We'll talk to Jesse Davis, the Montana circuit champ, over a few times, but we'll talk to him coming up. Also on this day in history, and a whole lot more on this beautiful Thursday. We had a little bit of snow flurries pass through recently, but seems to be okay now. Thank you for those tuning in today on the Podbean, also on Treasure State Radio, and on YouTube, Network One Sports, and Facebook Live as well. So lots of great places to watch us. If you are just tuning in, it is the Jason Walker Show, and you can catch us on, like I said, Facebook.com/The Jason Walker Show. You can also follow on YouTube. Just search Jason Walker Show. That's live. Podbean.com live. Network One Sports.com/Jason Walker Show live, and also TreasureStateRadio.com live as well. And then you can rewatch it anywhere on YouTube and Facebook, Twitter as well. You can listen all over the place. There's like 17 different platforms we're on. But I have a great, exciting news. So we've been talking about this for, I guess, a month now. But you can now, right now, as of today, go to www.jasonwalkershow.com, and we have our new webpage. Thanks to Tatum Curtis Design. It looks pretty sweet. Some tweaks will be made here and there, but you can go visit our sponsor pages. That includes Helena Accommodations. That includes Major Mortgage. That includes Cafe Zydeco, Dinner's Done Right, Auto Concepts, and we get a new sponsor coming up next week as well. So thank you to everybody. And it's been a fun ride so far, and we're only a month into this thing. So hopefully you're stuck with me for a while, right? So yeah, make sure you go to jasonwalkershow.com. There are I hate doing this, but you know, being the way things have worked out over the last few months, there is a donation page. If you want to help out the Jason Walker Show, you can there. That'll be up, I think, tomorrow. But yeah. And you can always, as always, get a hold of me, jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. So there you go. Let's see. What else did I say? On this day in history and high school stuff, we're going to talk some high school. Big Sky basketball tonight as well. And and a big walk-off congratulations coming up a little bit later on. All right, so let's get started. So the news came out today, a couple of hours ago, really, that Mike Leach is leaving Washington State and heading to Mississippi State of the SEC. That's a great get for the Bulldogs down there in SEC land. So after all these years, losing 31-21 to Air Force in the Cheez-It Bowl this past season, he also taught a class at Washington State, Leach did, called Insurgent Warfare and Football Strategies. 8 years at Pullman, went 55-47. Not great. Went to 5 consecutive bowl games. That's a school record. Had 11-win season, a 10th ranked national ranking in 2018. Finished 6-7 in 2019. All right, so he's going to Mississippi State. He was successful at Texas Tech. He was successful at Washington State, and now he's off to the SEC, where he gets to battle. Think about this: Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, Ed Orgeron at LSU, and Nick Saban at Alabama every year. I mean, that's going to be awesome for Mike Leach and Mississippi State. Now, normally we don't talk national news, but after Jeff Choate. Choate, playoffs the last 2 years, lost to North Dakota State both the last 2 years, and both on the road. So, does Jeff Choate leave Montana State? Would he leave Montana State? Would you leave MSU for Washington State if you were Jeff Choate? That is today's Twitter poll. You can also vote on Facebook at The Jason Walker Show, but also on Twitter at JWalkerSports, at Jason Walker Show. Should Washington State come after Jeff Choate as the next coach? You got 2 choices. Absolutely, he's a winner, or no, he needs more time at the 1AA FCS level. Get your votes in. We'll tally them up. We'll tell you what's going to happen or what your results are at the end of the show. So I'm not sure where I stand on that. I mean, obviously you want successful coaches to have a great chance in succeeding and moving on. Right? That's why anybody coaches. I know the Choate family loves Bozeman. I know Coach Choate has done a great job at Montana State, and I know that Coach Choate wants to do more at MSU. Getting to the semifinals this year was big. Could they take that next step next year and get to a title game? 4-0 against the Grizz. Let's not forget that. It's a different breed in the Pac-12 than it is at the Big Sky in the FCS level. Now, Choate has that Pac-12 experience. Like, as I said, as an assistant. He's been an assistant at many places. And he was a great in 3 decades. They took a step this year. They were 1 step away from that national championship game. So just keep that in your mind as we move forward here in the coaching search for Washington State. Is Jeff Choate going to be a candidate? His name is going to get brought up. It's already been brought up on Twitter, all over social media. So keep an eye on that. Think about it. Will Jeff Choate be the next coach at Washington State? You can vote. Should Washington State go after Choate on the Twitter, at JWalkerSports, at Jason Walker Show. You can also Facebook us, The Jason Walker Show, and let me know what you think. I'm open to the chats. I'm open to anything. You can also respond on YouTube, Podbean, wherever you're listening, and let me know what you think. Will Washington State, or should Washington State, come after Jeff Choate at Montana State? As Mike Leach heading off to Mississippi State. There's lots of states in here. Washington State, Mississippi State, Montana State. Anyway. So there you go. That's the Twitter poll today. And don't forget to vote. I did see this as well as we continue here in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Jesse Davis will stop by here in a little bit, few minutes. Another coach resigned in Great Falls. And another successful football coach. As we know, Gary Lowry resigned from CMR 2 days ago. And now we have, as I get to the story that I was looking for, Great Falls Central football coach resigned as well. And for some reason, can't find the story. But Coach Horton out at Great Falls Central, also out as the track and field coach. So he was resigning as the coach at Great Falls Central football, but they also decided you're not going to coach track and field as well. So big loss there for Great Falls Central. Mark Horton had done a great job there taking over for Mike Nelson. And he'd been an assistant for Coach Nelson, who had a nice run there as well. You remember just a couple years ago, Great Falls Central lost to Flint Creek, Drummond Phillipsburg, in the state championship football game. And this year lost in the semifinals, I believe. So there you go. Another coach out up in Great Falls. So now you got 2 coaches you're looking to replace up there. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. On this day in history still to come. Also going to check in with the Big Sky and to let you know what your high school schedule is coming up for the night. And also the walk-off is still to come as well. But when we return, we're going to talk Montana Circuit Finals Rodeo, the big one going on in Great Falls this weekend. Year-end champs will be decided on Sunday afternoon, and we'll talk to Jesse Davis when we return here on the Jason Walker Show, which is presented by Helen Accommodations. And also inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. We'll be right back.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. The holidays have come and gone, and now is a good time to treat yourself to what you really wanted. A full detail for your vehicle from Auto Concepts. Right now, Auto Concepts is offering a full detail for just $195. Or maybe you want to tint those windows. Auto Concepts does that too. Get that tonneau cover or bed rug you've always wanted and add in remote start, alarms, running boards, lift kits, toppers, winches, bug guards, grill guards, and much more. Check out Auto Concepts on Facebook or visit the website autoconceptshelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Let's try this again. We should probably turn on our microphone. Welcome back, Jason Walker Show, here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. And Jason Walker Show is always presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. So, trying to connect with Jesse Davis, and you know how this goes. He works on a ranch. Him and his wife Cassidy, fantastic family, and their daughters, Crew and Quincy. They'll be 4 at the end of this month. The twins will, and it's hard to believe they're growing up. But Jesse Davis, we'll get a hold of him. We'll get him on the air here shortly. So don't go anywhere. We plan on talking to Jesse about the Montana PRCA Circuit Finals, which are coming up at Great Falls this weekend, and it's going to be a fun time up there in the Electric City. It's always a good time. Will Rasmussen is the announcer, and we'll talk to him tomorrow here on the Jason Walker Show, as Will join us and get us set for rodeo action Friday, Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon at Four Seasons Arena at right there in the Electric City. So we'll get Jesse. Hopefully, he'll give us a call back here, and we'll get him going. But in the meantime, we'll switch gears and we'll switch over to talking about high school, which is what we were going to chat about a little bit later. So we'll just move things up a little bit. I did want to mention this too. Did you see this yesterday? Jesse Owens, the former Billings West standout, played a year of football up at Montana, has left Montana and left the football, and he's going to walk on at Montana State as a basketball player. So good luck to Jesse Owens, one of the most athletic kids I have ever seen in my life. Jesse Owens is fantastic, and he can play a lot of different sports, as he was recruited to play both football by the Cats and the Grizz, ended up with the Grizz, and now he's going to play basketball at Montana State. So that is a very nice move there for Jesse Owens, moving from Missoula to Bozeman. And, going back to, what he likes to do. And he talked to 406mtsports.com yesterday and really said, his favorite sport is basketball. And so now he's going to go try and walk on with Danny Sprinkle and play some hoops in Bozeman. So good luck to Jesse. And, Danny Sprinkle's got a pretty good thing going on right now. A lot of excitement surrounding Montana State basketball, especially on the men's side, as, the 5'9", 165-pounder is already going to start taking classes. He's going to enroll at Montana State next week, and he won't be able to play until next season due to transfer rules. So he actually can't play until next January based off of NCAA rules. Montana State, I mentioned 8-7 overall and 2-2 in the Big Sky. They've got a Big Sky Conference game tonight as they are at the University of Idaho in the Kibbie Dome in Moscow. And it is Moscow, Idaho, but Moscow, Russia. Remember that, okay? They're spelled the same, pronounced different. Moscow, Russia, Moscow, Idaho. It rhymes, okay? So anyway, that's a big get for Danny Sprinkle with Owens moving. He was a standout at West, third in Class AA in scoring, 18 points a game, and assists as well, 5.4. Made the most baskets in AA last year, 123. West placed third at state. He also was on the Treasure State All-Star team that knocked out Wyoming twice and have won, 16 in a row. So he's very good. He also, here's the stats in football. His senior year at West, over 1,100 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns. He was All-State in both wide receiver and cornerback position. Won a state championship with West in 2018. He's so good. He's very, very good athletically. And, he's so fast. He was one of the fastest kids that I have ever seen. And just a good dude as well. So good luck to Jesse down there in Bozeman. And Grizz will move on. There's no doubt about that. So there you go. Speaking of Big Sky Conference, there are games tonight. You have Montana State, my men, at Idaho, as we mentioned. And that one will tip off at, 7:30 tonight out there in Mountain Time out there in Idaho. The Grizz men are at Eastern Washington, and this is a good one. This is the matchup of the last two Big Sky Championship games, both, of course, won by the Grizz. But that'll be a fun one out there in Cheney, is the Grizz 3-1 in the Big Sky. You had Eastern Washington, the Grizz, and Weber State in the top three on the preseason polls, both on coaches and also media polls, but both playing very well. And, you look at the Grizz and Kendall Manuel, who has been on fire this year, and he was named the Big Sky Conference Men's Basketball Player of the Week this week, put up 30 in a loss last week, but ended up, as the Grizz fell to 3-1 in the Big Sky. They are under 500 overall. They had a tough non-conference schedule, but you look at the last 2 years between these two teams, Eastern Washington and the Grizz. It's impressive. There's no doubt about it. Montana 74 Big Sky wins, which is 10 more than second place Eastern Washington over the last 5+ seasons. Eastern Washington's won 64, and the Grizz have won 74 Big Sky Conference games. Now, the Grizz have won, like I said, the last two conference championships, beating Eastern Washington both times. But Eastern has had the upper hand at home, and that's where they're at tonight. A 9-point win last year over the Grizz, or rather in 2018. That snapped a 13-game win streak at the time. And last year out in Cheney, 78-71, the Eagles beat the Grizz. And that started a 10-game win streak for the Grizz at that point. So this will be a good one tonight. as Eastern Washington has 3 guys that average over 15 points as a team. They're 3rd in the country, 86 points a game, and also 6-0 at home, averaging 101 points per game. As our video is frozen up, but we'll get you back. Don't worry. Jason Walker Show here, presented by Helena Accommodations. Down 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. The weather playing a little bit of a factor here tonight with our show, but we'll be okay. We'll make it through. We'll you and I together, we're friends. We can make it, right? All right. So we mentioned the Bobcats men and the Bobcat women 4-0 in the Big Sky. They are at home tonight, taking on Idaho. Lady Grizz at home, 3-1 in the conference, and they are taking on Eastern Washington at home. So there's your Big Sky Conference update. In fact, let's run through the men's standings real quick. You got the Grizz at 3-1, and then you have Eastern, Northern Colorado, Southern Utah, Idaho State all 2-1, Montana State men 2-2. Everybody else, Sac State, Northern Arizona, Idaho, Weber all 1-2, and then Portland State 1-3. That is your Big Sky Conference men's standings. On the women's side, we mentioned the Bobcat women. They're 4-0. Lady Grizz 3-1, and then you have Idaho, Idaho State, Northern Colorado 2-1. Portland State's 2-2, and Southern Utah, NAU, Eastern Washington women all 1-2. Sacramento State, Weber State women have yet to win a game in the conference, and they're both 2-10 overall. There is not a clear-cut favorite in the Big Sky women's race when you look at it. Both the Cats and Lady Grizz are 8-5. You have 5 teams that are over 500, but the best over 500 is 8-5. You have 8-6, 7-5, a couple of 7-5s, and then you got 2 6-6s, 4-8, and then 3 2-10 teams. That's on the women's side. So tough non-conference schedules. And then on the men's side, the Grizz men lead with 3-1. They're 7-8 overall. You got Eastern Washington, Northern Colorado, Southern Utah are 9-5 overall. And the Cats at 8-7, Sacramento State's 8-4. And then everybody else has a losing record. 5-7, 5-9, 5-9, 7-9. So Big Sky playing tougher non-conference schedule, which is good as a whole for the league. There's no question about that. Still waiting for Jesse Davis to give us a call back here on the Jason Walker Show. The Big Sky Conference, of course, their championships coming up in Boise for the second year down there, and at Taco Bell, I think it's Taco Bell Arena. But lots of success a year ago down there in Boise after moving from Reno, and both the men's and women's championships will be played at Boise. All the teams make it, which I think is great. I think it's good that all Big Sky Conference teams make the tournament because you can have a Cinderella. And it happens. So it's good. Now, traditionally, are your powers going to rise to the top? Yes. But at the end of the day, you could have a Cinderella. And really, that's why it's what it's all about, I think. All right, so don't forget to vote on today's Twitter poll. Should Washington State look to Jeff Choate to be the next coach for the Cougars after Mike Leach left today to go down to Mississippi State? Early votes coming in, and absolutely he's a winner, 55%. No, needs more time, 44%. And so there you go. You can vote at Jason Walker Sport, or at J Walker Sports, or at Jason Walker Show on the Twitter. You can email Jason Walker Show at jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. You can also Facebook your answer. Should Jeff Choate go to Washington State? Well, that's actually not the question. The question is, should Washington State look to Jeff Choate as to be its next coach? It's up to you. You vote. You make the call. High school sports tonight. Big Games coming up all across the board on this, January the 9th already. We're already 9 days into the year. Can you believe that? That includes... You got Great Falls playing Belgrade. Girls basketball in the Gallatin Valley. That means the boys are up in the Electric City. You've got the Helena girls, 2-2, at Hellgate. which is unbeaten and ranked number 1. Both the Hellgate boys and girls ranked number 1 in the 406mtsports.com power poll. Helena girls 2-0 on the road, but 0-2 at home. Flathead girls are at Sentinel, and then you've got the Hellgate boys at the Helena High boys. That's a big early season test for the 1-3 Bengals. Hellgate boys favored to win state, so they're at Helena High tonight at 7:15. Sentinel is at Flathead on the boys' side. Going through some other, that's double A. Fairfield at Rocky Boy on the boys' side. That's a good one. Fairview's at Poplar. Darby Valley Christian hooking up in basketball. Cascade, Dutton Brady. Jefferson Panthers down at Manhattan Christian tonight. And the Manhattan Christian boys put up 100 points the other day, last weekend. That's awesome. Let's see, that's tonight. Any other games that stand out? Fort Benton, DGS. That's a good one. St. Regis Plains tonight. You got Sunburst Centerville. So Whitehall's at Manhattan as well. So, good games tonight across the state in basketball. Should be some wrestling as well. I think the Capital boys are at home. Or Capital Wrestling is at home. Let me grab my schedules. Jason Walker Show, by the way, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. The wrestling squad of Capital is, let's see, what is today? Today is January the 9th. They are hosting Butte in a duel tonight at the Bears Den. Butte, traditionally great wrestling. Helena High is in action tomorrow as they get ready for Capital City. Helena High and Capital tomorrow. I got so many schedules here. So GFH and GFH CMR taking on Helena High and Capital tomorrow. But tonight you've got Butte at Capital in Twitter poll. Should Washington State look at Jeff Choate to replace Mike Leach? Yes or no? You can vote at Jason Walker Show or at J Walker Sports. You can also Facebook your answer at the Jason Walker Show. Email anytime, jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. Also, brand new today, jasonwalkershow.com. The website is up and running, and it looks good. We want you to go there, check it out, and let us know your thoughts. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations. We'll be right back to the Major Mortgage Man Cave in just a moment.
Everyone knows about Dinner's Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinner's Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinner's Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. The holidays have come and gone, and now is a good time to treat yourself to what you really wanted. A full detail for your vehicle from Auto Concepts. Right now, Auto Concepts is offering a full detail for just $195. Or maybe you want to tint those windows. Auto Concepts does that too. Get that tonneau cover or bed rug you've always wanted and add in remote start, alarms, running boards, lift kits, toppers, winches, bug guards, grill guards, and much more. Check out Auto Concepts on Facebook or visit the website autoconceptshelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Have you thought about buying a home in sandwiches? Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
It is Thursday, January the 9th, Jason Walker Show, inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. By the way, tomorrow, Will Rasmussen will join us, the famed PRCA rodeo announcer, and we'll get his thoughts on the upcoming Montana Pro Rodeo Circuit Finals, which are tomorrow night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon in the Electric City. So Will join us tomorrow. Still working on tracking down Jesse Davis. As they say in the business, we are efforting. I know he's a busy dude, so maybe we check in with him tomorrow too. You never know. Hopefully we can get a hold of Jesse. You got the circuit finals coming up and this weekend, and why don't we take this opportunity then to go ahead and run through some of the leaders, because this is where year-end championships are won. Think about in Great Falls this weekend, you're going to have not only the world champion tie-down roper in Haven Medjid, you're also going to have the world champion steer wrestler, Ty Erickson, and the second place guy in steer wrestling, Bridger Chambers. That is all coming up this weekend. And much more. Let's just take a look at your leaders. All right, so in bareback, Jesse Davis is fourth. Trevor McAllister Polson in third. Devin Riley, Sheridan, Wyoming, sits in second. Dillon's Tristan Hansen, he's been so good the last couple of years. He leads the Montana circuit. You also have Sean Perkins, Buck Lunak, Wyatt Maines, Wyatt Bloom, Chase Redfield, and Brandley Peabody in the top 10. In steer wrestling, Ty Erickson sits on top. Sean Downing is in second. Newton Novich in third. Will Powell is fourth. And Will Stovall in fifth. Top 12 finished out. Ross Mosier, Jake Nelson, Kyle Calloway, Josh Clark, who just missed out on a national finals appearance. He was 16th, missed out by like $1,100. Luke G., Hank Hollenbeck, and Bode Scott. That's your steer wrestlers. Saddle Bronc, Jesse Cruz of Winston. He's had a very nice season this year. Keenan Reinhardt of Alberta. Andrew Evgene, who wins a ton. Travis Nelson, Tanner Hollenbeck in the top 5. And then you get Sage Newman, Talon Nelson, J.C. DeSavior, Alan Gobert, Houston Brown, Matt Holmes, and Gerald Esch in the top 12. Team roping on the heading side, Travis Tryon is number 1. Brady Tryon's number 2. Cal Fuller in 3rd, Derek Fleming 4, Dustin Bird in 5. And the top 12, let's see, DeLon Parker, Nolan Conway, Ian Ostagai, Cody 2, Radley Day, Cade Sherwood, and Will Powell. So Will Powell in a couple of events. On the healing end, Justin Viles, 1, Ryan Zurcher, Brett Fleming, Sid Sporer, Sean Bird, top 5. Chase Briggs, Taylor Williams, Corey Mitty, the University of Montana rodeo coach, is in 8th. Riley Bailey, Landon Williams, Jacob Goddard, and Sam Levine of Wolf Creek. And then on the tie-down side, Bryce Bott leads the way. Hank Hollenbeck, Dylan Honkamp. Haven Medjid, the world champ, is in 4th. Logan Hofer in 5th. Jade Gardner, Ty Hedrick. Trevin Bauman, Shea Keller, Kevin Peterson, Ryan Seamson, and Landon Williams, your top 12. Barrels, Jesse Cruz's wife. Actually, it's Jesse is Lindsey Cruz's husband. But Lindsey Cruz, by the way, Jesse Cruz, the 2009 world champ in Saddle Bronc. But Lindsey Cruz, great family. Love chatting with the Cruzes. But Lindsey sits on top of the barrel racer. And it's going to be hard to beat her. She has won Montana Circuit only. 21,000. Wagner. Parker Bredding, who's injured and will not ride. And then TJ Allen, Luke G., Dakota Lewis, Connor Murnion, Preston Lewis, and Mark Dorendorf of Columbus. Your bull riders at the circuit finals, which are Friday, Saturday, Sunday up there at Great Falls. By the way, if you need to, go to MontanaProRodeo.com, get your cash calendar. I won this last year. I paid for my calendar. They're $30. I won my $30 back, but you can win this weekend $5,000. So make sure you get your cash calendar from any of your rodeo friends. MontanaProRodeo.com is the place to get everything for PRCA Montana action. Winners in both the average and year-end titles will head off to Kissimmee, Florida in April for the Ram Circuit Finals. And Montanans have had huge success the last few years, over the years at that as well. So get up there. Get up to Great Falls. Snow's not supposed to start until Sunday night, so you should make it back in time before the roads get bad from Great Falls. If, by the way, you're traveling this weekend, please do be safe and careful out there. And next week, it's going to get cold, like highs below zero cold, which is nuts. Not a fan of that. I need to move someplace warm. Trying to convince the wife to get to Phoenix. Because here's my thoughts. Ready for this? She can work anywhere with her job, the wife. My 21-year-old daughter is going to graduate Montana State in May. She's going to go off to grad school, all that. My son's in the Army. He's got at least 4 more years to go, 4.5 more years. They're both. I'm not going to say they're both lost causes, but I can't do anything with their golf games. But my 20-month-old, if we move to Phoenix, I can make her. We can work every day on the golf course. I can get her a college scholarship because, as my good friend, Carroll golf coach Bennett McIntyre knows, and my good friend down at Butte, and Sean Ryan at Tech, they know that there is a lot of money left on the table every year in women's college golf. And you don't even have to be that good. You only have to shoot in the 90s. If I can get my daughter to shoot in the 90s, obviously I want her to do better. But here's my plan. Ready for this? She's going to go to college. She's going to become a college champ and get college paid for. And then she's going to turn pro. And then when she turns pro, I'll be her caddy. I mean, does that not sound like a great idea or what? I think that's a great idea. I'm going to eventually convince the wife to get to Phoenix, raise the daughter on the golf course, and get her to be pro, and I'll be her caddy. So there you go. That's my plan. We'll see if it works out. So far, so not good. The wife is a Helena girl. She has never left Helena and doesn't want to leave Helena. So my guess is we're going to stay here, which is great. I love Helena. It's one of my favorite towns in the state of Montana. There's no question about it. I love being in Helena. Still efforting on Jesse Davis. If we miss out on him today, we'll try to get him tomorrow. Tomorrow we do have Will Rasmussen coming up. He will be the announcer again at the Montana Circuit Finals in Great Falls. And it was such by the way, the competition yesterday for Miss Rodeo Montana and Miss Teen Rodeo Montana got underway yesterday. You can follow along on Miss Montana Rodeo Inc. on the Facebook page. Also Livingston Roundup and others. But it's so cool because we got to talk to 2 of the 3 competitors, Cassidy Shea O'Neill, Breanne Grimshaw. We did not talk to Katie Lynn Krause. We tried, but she was busy. But this is cool for them. And so there's 3 running for Miss Rodeo Montana and then 4 running for Miss Teen Rodeo. So you can follow along. That started yesterday. And these girls are staying awake for like 20, 21 hours a day because they're constantly in different competitions. And it takes forever, 2 to 3 to 4 hours to wake up in the morning and put yourself together. They've got to be pristine every minute of every day up in Great Falls. So I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I get to sit at home in this studio in the Major Mortgage Man Cave, and I don't even have to do my hair. I don't even have to wear shoes. And sometimes I just wear, my old travel suits from Carroll College. By the way, I missed out on this one this year. I was so bummed. But anyway. So yeah, it's great. I look professional from the neck up, right? Or from the chest up. I don't know. We're just filling time until Jesse calls us, and maybe he's not going to. It's okay today. There's Frontier basketball. We forgot to talk about Frontier basketball tonight. And Carroll men and women swept Northern on Tuesday up at Havre. And tonight there is action as the other teams get involved, including Northern. Again, they're at Providence tonight. And that's a couple of good games. Northern men just outside the top 25. The Providence men ranked 7th. Argo women receiving votes in the top 25 poll after starting the conference 0-2. And, Providence and Bill Himmelberg get out to really good records in the non-conference because they don't really Billings. And that was like the first playoff win in 20 years, the first road win in like a decade for the Tech men. And so they got the win last year. So Rocky, with a little bit of, they got to prove something. Bill Drykosen and his squad. And then the Rocky and Tech women, Rocky women are ranked in the top 25, the Tech women receiving votes. So it's interesting. These games, by the way, will be played tonight in Billings at First Interstate Arena at Metro Park, because the First Interstate Bank Court, or whatever it's called, at Fortin Center, not quite ready yet. In fact, I think Carroll next Wednesday will be the first games on the new First Interstate Court at the Fortin Center at Rocky. But tonight's games, Tech and Rocky, and then Saturday against LC, will be played at First Interstate Arena at Metro Park. First Interstate Bank should sponsor the Jason Walker Show. You got your name all over courts. Let's put your name on the Jason Walker Show. Speaking of the women's game, Tech's Mesa Williams leads the league, 18.3 points per game. Rocky's Markayla Francis is number 2 at 16.8. Now, I've been talking about Mesa Williams from Montana Tech for a couple of years, watching her play at least 3 times a year, so at least 6, maybe a playoff game in there, so 7 or 8 times I've seen Mesa Williams play from White Sulphur Springs. She is so athletic. This is a great chance for her, and it started last year, really, when Shea Potter quit the team on Christmas break. Mesa Williams is so fun to watch. She's athletic, she can shoot, she can guard, and I think Mesa Williams is one of the top 5 players in the Frontier Conference. I saw her as a freshman and thought, this girl's going to be really, really good. Mesa Williams is leading Tech right now, and she's fun. She's the reason that Tech has a real good chance of maybe winning a game in the conference tournament this year. And here's the other thing. She has help. Kaylee Zard, anytime a loose ball is out there, Kaylee Zard is going to track it down. But Tavia Rooney from Townsend, the freshman, has been playing lights out this year. And she's going to be freshman of the year. There's no question about that. Tavia Rooney has been unbelievable for Tech. She's averaging 12.1 rebounds per game. In fact, Tech leads the nation in rebounding margin. In the NAI, the whole nation, not just Frontier, they lead the whole nation. So that'd be a good game tonight down there in Billings, the Tech and Rocky women. And then, of course, you got the Tech Rocky men to follow. And like I said, this is the first meeting between the two since Tech knocked Rocky out in the conference playoffs last year, 70-59. Rocky is 6-5, 1-1 in conference. They beat Dickinson at home last week. Clayton Ladine has 12.4 points per game, 6.2 assists, 5.7 rebounds per game. As long as he can keep his ego in check, Ladine's a really good player. Got teed up at Carroll last year for little unsportsmanlike. He's gotten a couple of tees. If you listen to the assistant coach, Sean McEwen, down there at Rocky, Ladine is an angel, but he has some emotional issues on the court. He's a good player. Don't act up. For Tech, you got Taylor England, who is an NAI National Player of the Week this week. He's got 5 double-doubles on the year. He averages 14.5 points, 8.5 rebounds per game for the Diggers, who are 0-2 and could easily be 2-0. You heard Steve Keller talk about it here on the Jason Walker Show, the head coach of Providence, last Friday. They could be 2-0. The Diggers have beaten the Grizz in an exhibition game. They went to Missoula and won at Dahlberg Arena. And Adam Hyatt in his 4th year has got things turned around. He's got the players he wants in there. And looking forward to seeing how Tech progresses. Now, don't get me wrong. After, I have no allegiance to anybody in the Frontier Conference anymore. None. But I don't dislike teams anymore either. Although I would still probably not be a fan of Green and Tech, just based off of being a part of Carroll for the last 6 years. But I can root for anybody now. I don't have to. I can root for literally anybody in the Frontier right now. I have no allegiance. So there you go. Jason Walker Show is presented in the Major Mortgage Man Cave by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. You can visit helenaaccommodations.com. Make sure you go to jasonwalkershow.com. And we have links there, by the way, to all of our fantastic sponsors, including Dinners Done Right, Cafe Zydeco, and brand new Auto Concepts. And I'm telling you what about Auto Concepts. If you get a chance, you got a couple of weeks left to get part of this, but a full detail for your car or truck, $195. That's it. And think about lift kits coming up. A lot of people want lift kits and tinting for your windows. Auto Concept. You can check them out, Helena, or AutoConceptsHelena.com. But we have the link to all of our fantastic sponsors on JasonWalkerShow.com. Brand new today. Just got fired up today. So appreciate Tatum Curtis Design for building it. You can email me anytime, JasonWalkerSports@gmail.com. Don't forget to vote on our Twitter poll. You got a couple of minutes left. Should Washington State look to Jeff Choate as its next coach? Absolutely, he's a winner, or no, he needs more time. And if you need more time to vote, you can on the Facebook at Jason Walker Show, or The Jason Walker Show on the Facebook. So there you go. What else happened recently that I was going to chat about? Let's see. Sydney's on top of the Class A wrestling poll. No surprise there. They're off to a great start in Class A wrestling. For future Bobcats, number one in his weight class, Colstrip's Trey Yates in the BC polls. The team poll for BC has Glasgow, number one, Huntley, number two, Townsend, number three. You got Colstrip at 4, Whitehall 5, Cutbank 6, Columbus Absaroka 7, St. Ignatius 8, Eureka 9, Thompson Falls 10. In Class C, Circle, Superior, and Cascade, your top three in Class C there. Leo Anderson of Jefferson is 6th at 103. Gavin Needens of Huntley leads the way. This is MontanaSports.com power polls. Kyle Stormer of Circle, number one at 113. Jefferson's Christian Davis at 6. 120, Columbus Absaroka's Tanner Cook, number one. Jefferson's Cody St. Clair, number 6. 126, Gunnar Smith of Eureka is number one. Colton Fast of Glasgow, 132, number one. 138, Nathan Schmidt of Eureka. Easton Held of Townsend at number 2 right there. 145, Cole Becker of Circle. 152, Cutbank's Andrew Anderson. Klaus Rouser from Townsend, number 6. That Rouser family wrestling, holy cow. Just over the years, just nonstop. You had Jade, you had Cam, who's down playing football at Western and had a great first year. So 160, Colstrip's Rylan Burns sits on number 1. Ty Steele of Townsend's in 4. 170, Isaiah Alik of St. Ignatius. Will Lane of Townsend, 2. 182, Dylan Neeskins of Glasgow. 205, Glasgow's Cooper Larson. And Colstrip's Trey Yates, number 1 at 285. That is your BC polls. So there you go. Let's see here. Did want to mention who else is besides Sydney in that top poll for Class A. Frenchtown is number 2. Lewistown's number 3. Glendive 4. Havre 5. Individually, Landon Stewart, Frenchtown 103. Eli Warner, Frenchtown 113. Walker Dyer, Frenchtown number 1 at 120. Frenchtown's Jake Bibler 126, number 1. Lewistown's Cooper Birdwell 132, number 1. 138, Damian Lightholt of Miles City. 145, Aiden Graves of Sydney. Cade Graves at 152 of Sydney, number 1. 160, Dylan Lutz of Sydney. Dylan's Cooper Hoffman, number 1 at 170. Sydney's Riley Waters, number 1 at 182. And Jet Jones of Sydney, 205. And Miles City's Tyler Harms sits on top at 285. So there's your ABC wrestling polls. Who's number 1 in each weight class? And who is number 1, which school number 1 in the state? All right, so let's wrap up today's poll. And interesting here. Should Washington State... Okay, so Mike Leach took the job at Mississippi State today. Leaves Washington State after 8 years. And an overall record there in Pullman of 52-44, I think it was. Overall in 18 seasons, though, he's gone to 16 bowls. 55-47 in 8 seasons at Pullman. And so he's going off to Mississippi State, getting down to the SEC. That'll be kind of cool to watch, honestly. So, who replaces Mike Leach at Washington State? That's the question. And I bring up to you today's poll was, should Washington State look to Jeff Choate of Montana State as its next coach? Because Choate was an assistant at Washington State, was an assistant at Washington. He knows the Pac-12. He knows big-time football. He also knows the Big Sky, and he's done pretty well in the Big Sky, 28-22 overall. Went 11-4 this past year, made the national semifinals. So the question was, should Washington State look to Jeff Choate as its next coach? And 55% of you said yes, because absolutely he's a winner. 45% said no, he needs more time. And that says they're your final results out of all of the polls. Got a reply from good buddy Michael. He said, I once coached a 5th grade flag football team to a 6-0 record. We had a very limited playbook, but it worked out. How should I get my application? Do I fax it? And I told him, just send it back to mail the old-fashioned way. So there you go, Mike. All right, let's do On This Day in History, shall we? Tomorrow we'll try to get Jesse Davis. It's been tough. On this date in 1811, the very first women's golf tournament was held. 1811. You know what golf actually stands for? Gentlemen only, ladies forbidden. That's when golf was invented. That was the acronym they used. Gentlemen only, ladies forbidden. But on this date in 1811, the first women's golf tournament was held. 1903, Frank Farrell and Bill Devery purchased the American League Baltimore baseball franchise for $18,000. They moved it to New York City, and it became the New York Yankees. 1952, the Marines gave notice that they're going to recall Ted Williams to active duty. You think about Ted Williams was the greatest hitter in baseball. You think about where he would have been numbers-wise had he not served in the military. But he also had a successful military career as a fighter pilot. He shot down multiple enemy planes. Ted Williams, fantastic American. 1953 on this date, Bevo Francis at a Rio Grande College scored 116 points in a basketball game. Bevo Francis has his name now on the Bevo Francis Award given to the best offensive player in the NAI. 1958, Oscar Robertson, let's try that one again, 3-2-1. 1958 on this date, Oscar Robertson scored 56. Cincinnati beat Seton Hall. Seton Hall scored 54. The Big O outscored Seton Hall by himself, 56-54. In this date, 1985, the Flames set an NHL record 264th regular season game without being shut out. And on this date, 1991, baseball officially banned Pete Rose from being elected to the Hall of Fame for betting on baseball. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. There is no doubt about that. What he did as a player, the all-time hits leader, come on. That's a record that's never going to get broke. Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe both should be in the Hall of Fame. Happy birthdays today. 1934, Bart Starr was born on this date in Montgomery, Alabama. Passed away last year. Dick Enberg, born on this date in 1935, the famous sportscaster from NBC, CBS, ESPN, ABC. I mean, he was everywhere and did it great. Mount Clemens, Michigan. He passed away a few years ago. Happy birthday to a living 1980. Sergio Garcia was born on this date in 1980. All right, let's get to... Let me turn the music up. This. Boom.
We always hear from the guys. What about the ladies? Time for That's What She Said. Brought to you by Dinners Done Right.
We did that yesterday. Let's try this one.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
All right. Here we go. The walk-off is presented by Cafe Zydeco. Make sure you head on out. 625 Euclid. We're going to give away a couple of gift certificates tomorrow here on the Jason Walker Show. And in fact, if you go to the Jason Walker Show website, jasonwalkershow.com, and go down to the bottom of the page and register to be on our emailing list, and we'll tell you what's coming up on each day on each show, I'll give you a Cafe Zydeco gift card. So the first couple that sign up on the jasonwalkershow.com today, I'll send you a Cafe Zydeco gift card. All right, so the walk-off. We've got games tonight. Helena High boys and girls taking on Hellgate. The girls on the road. The boys are at home. You've got some other great games, Jefferson and Manhattan Christian, and fun stuff there. And then I do want to throw this out. Congrats to my idol, really, in this business. Dan Patrick will be enshrined in the National Sports Media Association Hall of Fame this coming June. I've won the award for Montana Sportscaster of the Year twice, lost it 3 times. But you can catch Dan Patrick being enshrined in the National Sports Media Association Hall of Fame this coming June. Congratulations. You can catch the DP show every weekday on the Dan Patrick Channel 211 on SiriusXM, also on Fox Sports Radio and the DP show app. And congratulations to really a hero and an idol in this business, Dan Patrick, going into the National Sports Media Association Hall of Fame. All right, that'll do it for today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Will Rasmussen will join us. We'll wrap up the week. Have a great, great Thursday night.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.